Welcome, everybody, to the 98th episode. And Nap, just waking up. Yeah, I'm just waking up, everybody. Welcome to the 98th episode of the Sawdust Nation Podcast with your hosts, myself, Nap, from Nap's Naughty Works LLC, Nick from MPG Creations, and Josh from North Country Woodworking. We got a little bit going on. I mean, shoot, we're kind of getting pretty close to this 100th episode. We're only 2 episodes away. Well, 3 if you include today. But before we talk about any more of that stuff, kind of just dive into what's going on in the shops.
You've been drinking that? You all right?
Yeah, man. I'm just just kind of waking up.
You bring in the intensity and the slurring and.
Dude, honestly though, for real, I took like an hour nap and I literally woke up probably about 30-40 seconds ago. So, yeah, you can definitely tell.
Welcome to the 90s. What number 90s? 90-something episode. Who gives a damn?
It's like I've been drinking. No, man, it's been a rough day today. But, Nick, check on the shop, man. Talk about your shop. Stop making fun of me.
Oh, my gosh. Well, my shop has been pretty busy. Yeah, I've been getting some space cleared away and ready for the new Omtech Laser that's due to arrive here in the next few days. It is arriving on a freight truck, so I'm trying to schedule it to where I'm actually, to where I'm here, and hopefully the driver just doesn't drop it at the foot of my driveway and bounce, because unlike the last laser that I had, which I did sell, by the way, it's gone. My Omtech is now in the custody of what's his shop called?
So he is now actually finally established. Why Not Woodworking?
Why Not Woodworking on Instagram. Anyway, his name is John Davis, and he's good. He's a good dude, good woodworker. He's got my laser, and it's still chugging along, making money for whoever's got it. So, but that being said, I had to expand the footprint a little bit in my garage. Did some measurements and had to move some workbenches over, and I'm just reformatting my entire shop essentially, because not only did the laser's getting here, but I have my AVID. I opted in for the 4x4 AVID Pro CNC. That will be here in approximately 15 weeks now, because I ordered it last week, I think. But they got a pretty long turnover time, for pretty long wait time for their products. But I'm really excited, and I'm excited to get the old Lex carve out of the garage. I still have one left, obviously. Other than that, I've been working on shadow boxes. I have 2 shadow boxes to complete before the 1st of June, as well as one plaque style hat board, and then a coin rack I have to do, which should be fairly simple. Coin racks are real easy. The shadow box, one of the shadow boxes is going to be in the style of the American flag with like the state cut out of the center of it. So, you'll look through the cutout of the state where the glass will be. And the other one is a big old chevron that I'm engineering because it's got to be bigger than normal. Other than that, though, I did a little cleanup, blew out the garage the other day. You don't really realize how much dust accrues until you get the old leaf blower out. And then it looks like a blizzard in the street. I had my old dust collection unit, and so the bag for that was full up. And I just didn't empty it. I just left it there because I wasn't using it. I was like, I'll get it later. Right. Well, I needed to make room. So it was taking up some room, and, I spilled sawdust all over my driveway, but the cool news is that my street is like a wind tunnel, so it just disappeared. I don't know where it went, but it disappeared. All that sawdust in my driveway.
Neighbor's yard.
Yeah. Like it's spread out across many neighbors' yards. So
no, it's at the lady's house across the street.
Oh my goodness, that lady. She finally moved that beater car that was parked across the street from me, by the way. I I don't think I've mentioned this on the podcast before, but I've got 2 vehicles parked across the street from me as of about a month ago. One's a giant box truck that's been sitting there for a year, and the thing doesn't move. It's so annoying trying to back out of the driveway. And the second one is this car. It's like a Mazda or something, which if you got a Mazda, great, right? But this thing's got a smashed inside like it was T-boned, and it's just been sitting in the road leaking oil all over the street. So
it was mint.
And then Nap was over the house one day, and we were playing cornhole out in the road, and that lady came out hollering at him because apparently he leaned against that cherry vehicle, the one with the smashed inside. I mean, I would be upset too, Nap. You're just a big dude, so. But
let me just add my extra bit of damage, my the oils from my skin on the paint. That
look, trying to keep it classy, man. They're trying to keep the paint and the finish good. That adds character.
What do you mean?
Feature.
The feature, how about the Jackson Pollock painting? It's spewing underneath the vehicle of all the fluids it's leaking. So that's another thing. The sheriffs came out. I didn't call the police. I didn't call the sheriff, but the sheriff came out and tagged the vehicle for towing, and that lady came and moved it. So, yeah.
Well, what about that box truck, though?
I think so. My neighbor has a bigger grudge against these other folks as well because of the vehicles. He can't back out of his driveway either. And I think he went and was like, "Hey, officer, what do you say about putting something on that box truck too?" And so he went and left a notice on it. So
Yay.
I know, right? It has nothing to do with making or woodworking, but
there goes the CIA watching Nick.
Yeah, but like when you got feuding neighbors,
a 3-letter agency been watching them.
3-letter agency? What do you mean? The HOA?
Yeah, the HOA is watching you from that box truck the entire time.
Oh, the CIA. Yeah, that's right. They're monitoring garage operations. They must, whoever was in there doing surveillance must be dead because that door has never opened on the thing. It's been locked. So, anywho, we have some exciting news. Just to let everybody know that we mentioned makerstock.com before on the podcast, and that's where we get all of our acrylic, or at least that's where I get all of my acrylic. But I know these other 2 guys get some stuff from the website as well. Check it out, makerstock.com. We are now partners with them of makerstock.com. And I will go ahead and pull up the promo code, and we'll give it to you at the end of the podcast. But you can save 10% off of one order off makerstock.com. Give them a look-see, man. They got all good stuff. They got Baltic birch and veneers and all that stuff. So if they don't have something, you could always shoot them an email, and they'll look into it. So, but that's all I got going on in the shop, guys. Josh, since you've been up all day and haven't taken a nap and aren't drowsy, what's going on over there? Bravo, by the way, bravo on that video you put on Instagram,
dude. Like, okay, first of all, folks, I think this might be a Sawdust Nation podcast first.
It's a first. It's a first.
The counts, like. He put a reel up of his brand new Omtech Laser, and by the way, that thing's freaking beautiful. By the way,
oh yeah,
the thing.
What is that? The 100 watt?
It's a beaut.
Oh yeah, Mm-hmm.
And currently, that particular post, and if I'm just to look at the current standings on it,
it's like 11.9 thousand views or something
while
like
we've
that.
been talking.
Oh, okay.
And 804 likes, folks. Like that is the first post I think we've had with that many likes and that many views. So. Josh, I don't know what voodoo witch match you put on that particular reel, but man, keep it going.
Well,
awesome.
I gotta give you congratulations to Josh and also on being a humble individual, because I was like, hey Josh, wow, dude, look at all those views on that and all the likes, and he's like, yeah, I know, whatever, bro.
He's just like,
well, let's face it, okay? Every post that we do on Instagram, every story we do, you never know what's going to blow up. I've done like 500, 600 posts since I started, and like some of the ones I never thought in a lifetime would blow up. So when something like that happens, you just let it ride that wave.
Tick,
I thought the trash can video was good.
It was good, man.
So if you haven't seen our Instagram, I posted a picture or a video of me throwing away cutoffs into a trash can, and that thing got like 8,000 to 9,000 views. I couldn't believe it. Like, wow,
dude, you satisfied the algorithm.
That's pretty much it.
Like it pretty much it was like, what is it? The algorithm I say is trash, and him doing a video on practically trash. It's just poetic, you know.
Too easy.
Anyway, sorry, Josh. Go ahead.
Oh no. It's interesting watching that grow. Anyway, shop. Okay, so we have a lot going on in the shop. So from last week, it feels like, even though I didn't have this week off, it's been a lot has happened. So Nap and I sat down. We actually tuned the laser. After I tried to do it myself, I don't know if I made it better or worse, but we're just going to say I made it worse and he made it better. And now I'm cutting through 3/4 inch material and not even looking back. So it is working fantastic. I've been using it almost every day. I got the wife using it. She has now Lightburn on her computer and learning that program as well. Some growing pains with that, but as anything, she's never had to deal with that program. I've been lucky enough to be doing it for a while just because of my diode. So it's a little easier transition for myself. But yeah, so as far as jobs go, I am jobbing it. I really can't slow down. I just finished a Security Forces shadow box of their album, and it came out pretty good. The client loved it. It was one of the first times that the husband was present when I got to present it to the wife. They were going to a TMO briefing, and it was right next to the office, so I got to bring it out. And yeah, he got to see it. They both loved it all around. It was a fun project in the fact it was something a little bit different. It was multi-layered. I had to figure out some problems I never really had to deal with, and I know I'm better for it. But I will say the laser was primo in making that particular piece. I was able to cut out the acrylic pieces, the backer, pretty much everything that I would normally have to cut with saws and everything else and take forever in a day. That project did take a little bit longer because it was the first hexagon I ever had to cut. And I was kind of unsure and didn't want to waste walnut. So basically I did a small hexagon, make sure that the angles I was using were correct, which you can find online. Regardless, I went ahead and did that. It came out good. And then, I built the frame. And the last walnut project that I messed up on the CNC came in handy because I was one piece off of finishing the frame. So I went back to that walnut piece and I cut out the piece I needed and it saved a day. Excuse me. But that was a long night. I finished that up about 4 o'clock in the morning and got it out the door. But, that's the price we pay sometimes. We stay up late. And then moving on, I did 4 flag boxes as well. I had 3 cherry and maple, and then 1 walnut and cherry. And basically the story behind that was I had a friend retiring, a flight engineer, and he had a flag that he's been carrying and the other 3 flags for children. And he wanted the flag boxes to give it during his retirement to his kids with an engraving on back. And then 1 for his flag, his retirement flag. So I got to make that for him. And I did the cherry on all 4 pieces, representing basically how they're connected. And then the maple was done on the stripe, basically so that the kids are, carving their own paths. And the father got the walnut because, he's at the pinnacle of his career. He's retiring. So I put some thought into that. I really, I think I did a fairly decent job. The family loved it. So it was definitely something that I'm getting to make projects for people I know that are retiring. And it means a lot more, you know what I'm saying? Just because you know these people. But backing up a little bit to that Security Forces project, I got to use a Total Boat UV Clear Resin. Now, I got this stuff right here. They let me have some, and I tried it out. If you put this on acrylic, it doesn't frost. It cures clear. So that's how I actually glued in the acrylic pieces on that piece. And it was easy. I put this on, I put the UV light on. It was hard, no weight, no fuss. We use glue and we try to, find the best stuff that is not going to smear and cause it to frost. And this stuff by far has been the best. So if you haven't tried it, I would go ahead and try to give it a go. I actually tried it on some scrap pieces first to see how it would work. And once I saw that it basically cleared perfectly clear, it was a go. So I wanted to bring that up. What else? I got 2 security forces going away gifts I need to get completed. I have another shadow box I need to do. I'm pricing out a whole bunch of projects. Basically, this month I thought I had pretty much scheduled out. I just got dumped on with a whole bunch of projects. My Etsy's blowing up. I got a hammer I'm shipping out to Hawaii. I got 2 conversion charts I'm shipping out, one to Utah and one to, can't remember the other place. I think Connecticut maybe. And then I sent an invoice to a gentleman down in New Mexico for a huge plaque that I'll be doing with him. And that's going to be that 42 by 24 inch plaque. He liked, what I gave him as far as the mock-up, and you're just waiting to get paid. So, I got like 4 shadow boxes to do at the end of the month. I have a hammer that's due tomorrow. I finished the karate sign. It's oiled up and basically ready to get wiped down by the end of the night.
Wax on, wax off, sir.
Yes. And he's actually getting 2 30-inch signs, the one I messed up, the one that looks good, and then a nice 10-inch one as well. The one that I messed up, I was going to ask him what he would like me to do with it. It's not quite finished as far as like there's no finish on it. I didn't know if he wanted it just cherry, or I can paint the lettering black, or something different. Maybe he can hang somewhere else. So I'm gonna give him that option, and I guess I still have to finish that up for him. But for the patience and his understanding, I think it's totally worth it. What else? Well, the CNC just stopped going. I was carving out stripes for Marine E8. I had the client's wife come by today. We went over how they wanted the shadow box. It's going to be a dual uniform shadow box, their desert and then their common uniform, with just the ribbon rack and the rifle achievements. And maybe if I could fit in the neckline, the pinstripe of the pants, the dress pants of the NCO, which, you know what? Personally, a simple shadow box I think is always the best. And the way that they laid it out and explained to me what they wanted, it made sense. I didn't have any questions for them. Like, it was one of those few times when you're talking to a client, they knew exactly how they wanted it. And like, it was just like, okay, we'll make it happen. So a lot going in the shop. I also got a new compressor. I got the California Air Tool compressor. And when I say that thing is silent, it goes,
but deadly.
It's like 66 decibels. Like, when it turns on, you can hear yourself fart. I mean, like, that's that quiet. So it's nice. I can actually.
That's not saying much, Josh.
Truth be told. But anyway, it's great to have a compressor in the shop that I can use at any time of the night. And like, I leave it on now because it doesn't. When it goes off, I can't hear it in my bedroom across the house upstairs. I can barely hear it inside the shop next to it.
So I found out you got to keep the air filter clean on those, or else they're no longer silent.
Yes, absolutely.
I too shall be getting one of those California Air Tools air compressors. By the way, just
what
FYI.
gallon? What size?
Probably like 2 gallon. Or something small, because I need it for the automatic tool changer.
Oh, okay.
But it's good. I mean, it's gonna have to have like a filter on it as well, not like a filter for moisture as well. So because it's supposed to be dry, clean air that's pushing into that thing.
Is that something you're gonna install in line, or you like how's that?
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know exactly how it's gonna work yet because I haven't gotten the. I bought the spindle as well. But I don't know yet. I'm still working on, like, I would like to put the CNC together before I even try and figure that out, but we'll see. You know what I mean?
Dude, you're gonna have a shop full of like brand new tools. Like, you got a learning curve coming.
I have a learning curve coming for the CNC, definitely, but the Omtech, I think it'll be very, very easy to transition.
Yeah, it's going to be easier for sure, but I mean, like, the power levels and stuff might be different. I don't know.
100% every time, 100%. I'm gonna cut through the earth with that thing.
That's one way to do it. Absolutely.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Josh got the 100-watt. I got the 130. Josh, I didn't realize this when Josh was telling me. He's like, I'm gonna get the dual head 100-watt laser. I couldn't believe it. I was like, are you serious? I didn't even see it on the website. Then I went and looked. I'm like, by golly, that thing is massive.
Yep.
So you could run like 2 jobs at once.
Yeah, I didn't end up going that road because if I went that dual head 100-watt, it would have been the same size bed as the 130-watt. And I am glad I didn't go that high. It's doing everything I needed to do at the wattage I needed. And B, I don't know how I would have fit it in that garage.
Yeah. Yeah. So I actually I don't know what the bed space is on that offhand. It's pretty big, but I'm gonna go camping out there one night.
Yeah, it's huge. It's like 35 by 51 or something crazy like that. It's fairly large. Yeah, I mean, wrapping up the shop real quick. Things are starting to come into place. Once I get that sign out, I'm all the way caught up with everything. Everything's going out on time. Etsy's is one of those weird things where I didn't expect it to blow up, especially with the conversion chart. I put that on there as like why not an extra post, right?
Did you cut that with your laser, or did you etch it with your? Yeah. How long did it take?
Oh, I don't know. I did like 4 or 5 of them at a time. So, I think it's got to be like quick.
Weird.
15 minutes at most.
Yeah. See,
that was before I knew. That was before it was dialed in. Now it's dialed in. Probably I don't know. Probably less than half of that. Nick trying to compete.
Compete with what?
Ben Warren. He goes, is Nick trying to compensate?
I am compensating, Ben.
Oh, man.
By the way, I wanted to talk to Josh. Like, did you tell everybody yet? Speaking of coming in place, or coming, what?
What just happened?
You said something about everything in your shop's coming to place or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, but you're coming to our place here shortly, right?
I am.
For the 100? Did you tell anybody?
Yeah, I think we've mentioned it before. But yeah, I'll be coming down for the 100th episode, and I'll be hanging out, and be the first time that all 3 of us have been together. First time I'm meeting Nap, and I'm staying at his house. He's picking me up, so that'd be a large transition.
What day?
I actually arrived the day of recording at midnight.
What day will you be here?
Was it the recording the 24th? So I'll be there the first minute of the 24th.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to meet Josh from North Country Woodworking and you're in the San Antonio area, go ahead and shoot me a DM. I'll get you scheduled. All right? And we'll do 30-minute segments, and
little meet and greet, some signatures.
Little meet and greet. We'll do autographed. That's right. We'll do
no private sessions.
Well, I mean, if you want to go private, get a private dance from Josh, we'll entertain that too.
Hey,
and don't worry, there's a separate. He's got his own room, so we're good.
Burn the sheets.
Oh my gosh, burn the sheets.
Get the rubber sheets out. Anyway, we kind of went off on a tangent down there. Anyway, yeah, I'll be joining these guys, doing the recording for the 100th episode, and then meeting some of our Patreons and other people that reside in Texas, which is going to be awesome. I talked to a lot of these guys, and it'd be nice to see them in person. I know Workbench Con was great for that, but doing this on the private sector without having to go to a convention is even better. So I can't wait for it. And we're going to set up a public viewing in the yard of Nap's house.
Yeah, and we're gonna exactly.
It's gonna be like it's gonna be like the Today Show.
Exactly. That's how it's gonna be. So if you want tickets to the 100th episode live event on the 24th, just go ahead, let us know. I'll go ahead and shoot you Nap's address, and he will be moving out of that house shortly after. So if we trash it, it's fine. So just give me
no, it's not. Dude, the people that are buying this house will be super mad.
Why does everyone just keep showing up?
Wait, why do we have 100 people here for the 100th episode? What is happening?
I mean,
Are we making this a block party?
you live in a cul-de-sac, dude. We could make it a block party.
It's not off the table.
No. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You gotta remember, I'm moving. I gotta be able to clean this place up. I still have to make sure it's within what the people saw that are buying this place. Watch the walls be painted a different color. Freaking. Ugh, no.
There might be a penis drawn somewhere before we leave.
There already is.
They're better now. Wait,
Nick already went through.
Oh, speaking of, Josh. Speaking of that, you said that you enjoy making shadow boxes and projects for people that you know who are retiring. Well, I always customize the shadow boxes in a place where they won't ever see it, of course, but it's there, and I know it's there on the shadow boxes of my friends. So I'm just letting you guys know.
And now if they've listened to this, they know.
Yeah,
now they're going to go looking, and it's going to bother them. Like, where is this thing?
You know, the funny part is that Jesse Four from Jesse Four Woodworks already told me that he is commissioning me for his retirement shadow box next year. And I have already come up with the perfect acrylic peanuts for him. So.
Inlay.
It's going to be, that's right, an inlay.
Yeah, we went down that road. A lot of
all right.
Yep, yes, we did.
All right, there's no coming back.
No, Nap. What do you have going on in your shop?
So, again, like kind of last episode, shop's winding down. But a lot's happened, though, still within the past, 7 days since the last episode.
7 days.
So after I know, right?
Sounds like a horror film.
That's the movie,
Yeah.
The Ring.
Oh, God. Why? I don't like scary movies. All right, yes, everyone. Matt Knapp hates scary movies, let y'all know. But in them 7 days...
7 days.
I've helped a matter, let's see. I've helped one maker. I've gone and hung out with another maker. So let's see, starting with the first thing was I went to Rockport this last weekend to visit Ben from Beach Time Woodworking. We went down to Rockport, hung out with him for a weekend. He showed us a pretty good time down there. I've actually never been to Rockport, let alone the Gulf. Actually, the entire time I've been here, I've not gone to the beach here. I just hadn't. I literally never had time or found time to go do it. But he pretty much made that happen. We ended up staying the night, shared some good laughs, hung out with some of the people that were living around them. Very hospitable folks. But we went to crab boil. We went fishing. And, man, let me tell you, I caught the biggest fish. All right. So there I was. There I was at 7 p.m., okay, with a really large fishing pole, a bucket of live shrimp, and casting out into what I would say is probably one of the windiest evenings. It probably wasn't the greatest conditions for fishing, but we did it anyways. And I cast the line out, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. My bait, I kept feeling my hook getting hit by something, and I kept losing shrimp. And I'm like, what is happening? So I cast the shrimp out the last time, and I'm like, I feel something biting my hook. So I kind of, gave a little tug.
Give a little yank?
And, dude, get a little yank. And, man, this thing put up a fight. All of 30 seconds of a fight. I start reeling this sucker in, and lo and behold, that big little mother that was tugging all the shrimp off my hook was all of 2 inches, little sunfish. She's like this big. And, little did he know, he kind of met his demise. I may or may not have rehooked him and threw him out to try to catch something bigger. And
how you do it, brother?
I caught nothing.
Catching bait with bait.
Mm-hmm. Needless to say, I didn't catch anything bigger than that, but I was the only one to catch a fish. And then sure enough, after I caught my fish, the 2 guys that were sitting next to us, they looked like they hated me for catching the tiny fish, caught a fish as we were leaving. So I was like, see? That's what happens. I threw all the rest of my live bait right in your area there, practically chummed the waters, and look at you caught something. That was pretty cool, catching the tiniest of all fish. And then we went to this place, this breakfast joint the next morning called the JJ's Cafe. And let me tell you, something about hole-in-the-wall places.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Some of the best food.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you what. I had a really good time, a lot of good food, a lot of good laughs, and good memories because at the end of the day, I am leaving here. And who knows when the next time I'll see, Ben or anything like that as far as like taking trips like that. I'm hoping to be back down in, San Antonio maybe or just in Texas in general after I finally leave the military in 6 years. But we'll see. So it was a good time had there. Transitioning into my Sunday, I helped John Davis over at Why Not Woodworking. He just established his Instagram page. I kind of told him, kind of like Josh told me a while back, and as well as Nick, like, hey, you need a business page so you can start getting people to follow your stuff. Well, he established his page, and he's been releasing stuff every day just because, he's got a lot of pictures, a lot of projects he's been doing. But he did take Nick's laser over. So we picked it up from his house. Nick came over, helped us unload it. By the way, not as heavy as you would have thought. We were thinking this thing was going to be stupid heavy, but really it was real quick lift. We got it to John's house, and we set it up. And surprisingly, that thing was still pretty well aligned. What's up, Josh?
You sanitized it, right? Like before you brought it into the new shop.
Oh yeah, I forget my ritual of new tools. Sorry.
You wore gloves, right?
No. We were wondering what all the greasiness was on it, but
the mushroom smudge on the window.
Yeah, he was wondering what that was from. I was like, honestly, bro, just don't use your imagination. All right, just clean it.
It's so small, he thought it was a fly.
So we got his laser all set up, dialed in. It really didn't take long because the alignment was actually still good on it. We just did a ramp test to make sure we gave him the right focal length and all that stuff. And sure enough, he was off to the races within a couple hours.
I'm pretty sure he keeps that thing running too, man. He's been busy bee.
Yeah, as soon as he was able to use it, he's been knocking jobs out with it. That just goes to show that a laser is like a CO2 laser is a game changer. And it's just as for Josh was talking about earlier, how, once it was tuned in, he's just using it. Like his jobs have been easier to do. He's not having to throw the diode on it, let alone the small Glowforge. Sorry, Glowforge, but
Glowforge has not been used since it's been dialed in. I basically made the statement of once it was dialed in, the Glowforge does not get turned on. It's going to get clean and sold.
And there you go. And then his ROI will be even better because he'll just get a little sum of money back for that, and it just goes right back into the business, which is pretty awesome.
Real quick, for the budget-minded folks, I know we always talk about CO2 lasers and stuff like that, but I recently had a buddy get the Artur, or is it Ortur?
Ortur, yeah.
The Ortur laser. I forget which model, but that little thing hums, man. For a diode laser, I was like, woo!
Absolutely, it's the one I recommend to basically anyone that asks. And that it's a good segue into just because we have CO2 lasers and we're going that road. You could buy a diode. I mean, I survived off that thing for a long time. The only thing I suggest, and it's really up to you guys, but if you're going to buy a CO2 laser, try to find something that's going to work for you better. If that includes the Glowforge, if you want something that's easy to run, you don't have to think about it, that's fine. If you're more the maker side and kind of want to fine tune your stuff and be able to do just a little bit more, Omtech does have like a $500 45 watt CO2 laser that is able to be put inside like Glowforge. The cutting area is a little smaller, but it's definitely capable. So, if you're considering lasers, do some searching. Just don't fall in Glowforge or any particular laser. Do your research. There are a lot of brands out there that, might fit you better.
So I help John get everything set up. Kind of getting off the laser bandwagon here. It is actually really hard bandwagon to jump off of because it is literally the biggest game changer, I think, in all of our shops, which is
right awesome. Now, especially.
Yeah. But then just moving into like jobs I've been doing. So I finally delivered the Command Chief box, and a little story on that one. So individual gave me they didn't give me all their stuff at once. And typically when I make a shadow box, the flag that I use is one of those vinyl flags from Amazon because it folds thin, it's fairly clean, and it's the same size every time. So I have a predetermined depth for each shadow box to fit that flag. Well, they gave me a cloth 3x5. This particular cloth 3x5 was flown over Packer Stadium and stuff, for one of the football games. And when I had asked the question of, hey, could I cut this flag? It was a big resounding no. Because there was actual sentimental value behind it. And I was like, oh, that's not good. So I will not cut this flag. So I'm going to use one of my flags if you're okay with it. And they were like, yeah, cool. Well, because I kind of felt bad because, I like to please my customer, make sure that they get everything they want. Because obviously they wanted to display this thing, but they wanted to display it nice. So I went ahead and used some of the mahogany I had sitting on the side. And I went ahead and made a flag case for him. It is for his retirement. So it was kind of like a gimme from me, as well as like a, hey, I'm sorry I couldn't get this in your shadow box. And yeah, I made him a flag case. I just thought of some stuff I had sitting aside, and I delivered that to him today personally because, I don't like not giving the customer what they want. So I wanted to make sure I could tell him in person, like, hey, man, I'm sorry I couldn't get this in there, but because of that, here's a nice flag case for you so you can still display this flag appropriately. And he was very thankful for that. So much so that he was like, yeah, I'm not even going to unwrap the shadow box because I saw pictures of it already and it looks awesome because I wrapped it up in like the brown paper. And it's going to stay like that until his retirement, and he'll have that, and he's really happy with it. So that's gone. I did learn a lesson about that, though. Do not leave jobs or leave projects in a truck that's hot because wood likes to twist. So the frame on that sucker twisted on me the day I was supposed to deliver it. And let me tell you, I freaked out a little, just a tad. I was like, you know what? Let me try something. I actually brought it back inside the house because I didn't drop it off the day I was supposed to. I set it in on top of my little shelf right here. And thank God that thing stabilized and flattened back out. And it was perfectly fine. No rocking, no nada. So once I wrapped it up, I said, okay, hey, am I delivering this today? Because I'm not leaving this in my truck again. And I took it to them and everything was good to go. So, hey, yeah, don't leave stuff in a vehicle that gets extremely hot because it will bake it and make your wood twist.
I like making my wood twist anyway. Sorry about that, Nap.
But yeah, so those jobs are gone. I've got a couple left to finish. I got to finish that Senior Master Sergeant Chevron box that I have not finished yet. It was one of those, just get it done when you get it done type things. All I have to do is put the cork and the felt on and then finish it, put the glass on, and good to go. I've been having a little bit of a issue with my plexiglass, though, as far as putting it in and doing the finishing touches. I always seem to like scratch a small side or scuff a small corner. So I'm trying something different this time around. I'm not putting that plexiglass, regardless of having the little filament on it, until I'm done finishing it, period. Because I can use contact adhesive, I'll put it in there, it'll stick, it'll be fine. But I'm doing that as the very, very last step because I'm tired of having like the little, little minor scratches on it. Because every time you look at it, like at a side view, you can see them and it bothers the ever living.
Yeah, acrylic is hard to find a hard acrylic that won't do that to you.
And honestly, I'm hoping in Maker Stock's stuff, I find that because their finishing for that film that's on there is a lot thicker. I would say a lot tougher than, let's say, like that plastic stuff you normally see on most acrylics. So I'm hoping in their product I find that. I mean, I'm going to continue to use their stuff anyways because it's like awesomely priced and a lot. I don't know. It gets to me faster, I would say, than the Amazon stuff sometimes. So I finally got the hat for this hat case, so I'm going to start building that probably tomorrow. It's going to be a little bit deeper than the other cases that I make because I'm fitting a MTI statue in it. So it's going to add an extra 4 inches in depth. So it won't be anything different, really, just a little deeper, a statue in the middle with the hat behind it. Nothing too crazy. And then I'm tackling a different type of job coming up here. It's so one of our members is going away in our organization, and they wanted to send this person away with a bang. Well, they have this metal art that's our patch. Mm-hmm. So it's got the shield and all this stuff, all different color metals, whatnot. Well, I'm actually going to make a layered wood logo similar to the metal art, except with wood. I've been designing it. It's going to have different level inlays to add depth to it. So like I'll have a cherry backer. I'm using cherry because it's cheaper than using a whole slab of walnut. And just because the contrasts, I think, are better when you have the cherry and then you have like the accents of walnut. Mm-hmm. So they'll have some accents of walnut. The flame on it for the torch will be mahogany. A part of it will be like maple. And there are going to be different layers of inlays. So that way you can give it like a 3D look. Get a chamfer everything because they love chamfer edges. It just looks nice to me. So I got to make that. That's due like in the last week of me being here, so that'll be cool. But yeah, that's kind of like all I got going as far as making is concerned. I'm just trying to see if there's really anything else. No, not really, because I'm coming to the end of my time here. But on a non-maker announcement, my house was sold. I'm under contract, which is pretty awesome. Big stress reliever there. We're just going through the paces now. I have my inspection tomorrow on this house to make sure everything's good to go. I will say that we're walking away good. Let's leave it at that.
They're rich.
Not rich. Not like some folks I know that recently sold their house, but it's at least enough to walk away, get to the next house, make the necessary improvements on the garage, like, 3 220 outlets and things like that. But also pay off personal loans, stuff like that. But other than that, that's what's going on. I'm ready to move. I got 10 days? So I got 21, 22 days until I'm out of here. So that's a little crazy. But that's about it.
I got some news.
Let's go.
Oh, what's that?
About the giveaway for the 100th episode. Yeah. So check it out. Not only are we doing all these giveaways, the ISO tunes, the hand planes, the clean cut woodworking, router sled, all that stuff, right? Maker Stock is doing a Memorial Day laser cutter starter bundle giveaway, and they're sponsoring this for our 100th episode. So what you could win is 12 by 20, 1/8 inch red acrylic. You could win, and this is all together, 12 by 20, 1/8 inch white acrylic, 12 by 20, 1/8 inch transparent dark blue acrylic, 12 by 20, 1/8 inch Baltic birch plywood, and 12 by 20, 1/8 inch extra refined MDF. That extra refined MDF is really good for sign making. So, but that's their Memorial Day laser cutter starter bundle. Yeah, so we're going to be doing that giveaway as well on our 100th episode.
And on the 100th episode too, we also, and thanks to Matt Boltner over there at Boltner Woodworking, for our Patreons that are getting those bags, you may or may not get a Clip It present or something maybe of the like in your goodie bags. So if you're one of those folks like myself, Nick, or Josh, who loses their pencil probably consistently in their shop, well, you'll have a place to stick that pencil, and you'll be able to clip it to your hat. That way you keep that pencil near.
You saw Nick's reel about that.
It was so funny.
You can clip other things, apparently, to your hat.
Like a router.
Yeah. Just
make sure it's turned off.
Thanks, Boltner Woodworking.
Oh,
it was great. That was a funny one.
I do want to share one thing I did learn about the laser with Nap. I figured out how to use my autofocus while figuring out the ramp test. My findings with that has been working perfectly. So what happened was I did the ramp test, figured out the ultimate measurement for how far my laser needs to be away. And commonly what people do is they actually make a little block of wood or 3D print something. But what I did is I moved my sensor. I actually moved the sensor the right distance away so that when it does the autofocus, it goes to that exact height and within like a millimeter. And it's been working great. So, I mean, there are options out there. You don't have to stop using autofocus. And I know Nap is working on some other stuff to set that height without doing that. But it literally took an Allen key and me messing around with a couple times. I only crashed it once. Only one time.
Oh, you mean when you drag the entire nozzle across the grate? Oh, Josh and I are on Instagram, and he's like, all I hear is, and then for the PG, oh crap, and all you see is, and there's a big line in his freaking what you call it?
That was more
the honeycomb.
That was more of learning how to operate and doing that at the same time. So I probably should have waited a day or two to do that, but I was so excited to get it all adjusted and ready to go. I'm glad I did. And because my wife is also using it, and that allows her to go ahead, push autofocus. It autofocuses for her, and then she don't have to mess with the block and doing the Z and all that. So for me, it worked. I can't guarantee it's going to work for everyone, but it might be worth checking out. You have that feature. Why not use it? So do the ramp test, find your measurement, mess with the sensor, and see what you can do.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking for the Maker Stock promo code.
Hang on, we do. Stand by.
It's in the email.
It's Sawdust 10.
It's Sawdust 10?
All caps, Sawdust 10.
Okay, so yeah, 10% off. It's a one-time use, but it'll get you started. And if you spend, $1 million, you'll save $100,000. Just think about it that way, okay? What? It's true.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
You're not wrong.
I want to thank Victor for Whim Designs. I got 2 packages this last week from him. I got
Were they big?
one was big, the other one was a little bit smaller, but they were heavy. Okay, I got 2 sets of coasters from him, and one is to give away at the 100th episode, in addition to the one Nick got, and the other one is a Sawdust Nation Podcast one for home. And then with it, he included some other stuff that I highly appreciate and actually put to use today. So just thanks, man. I know you're on here listening, and I just want to reach out and say, you know what? We have some of the best listeners out there and some of the best Patreons. Like, they can't ask for better. And talking about Patreons, let's announce our new Patreon that we got this week. You guys ready to do that?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm trying to spread the love a little bit, but we got a new Patreon this week, and it's Stan Davis from the Lost State of Franklin Woodworks. We've been talking to him.
We found him.
We've been talking to
We
him.
found him. He was lost. Now he's found.
We've been talking to him for quite a while. I forget if you started following me, I started following him. I saw some of his mallets. We were talking mallets, and then I started listening to the podcast, and he's a good guy. Vet, obviously, and we love talking
He works
to him.
on animals?
Like a vet. A veteran.
like cats and dogs?
No, no.
Veteran. Oh, okay. I thought you meant veterinarian. My bad. Thank you for your service, sir.
Okay.
And just like that,
Someone else
lost
pick
the
up. Yep. I have no idea where to go from there. Thank you. We appreciate you joining the club here, and hopefully we can get him on this live here. I think he definitely appreciate it, and he always has something interesting to share and say.
He lives in the area too. They should show up for the block party.
He probably is. We're going to lunch with him, aren't we not?
I believe so.
It's going to be at a awesome establishment. Okay.
I have no idea.
Sugars. We're going to Sugars.
Stop. My wife's going to kick.
They got great steaks. Anyway, if you or anybody else is going to be in the San Antonio area on the 24th of May and you'd like to take us to lunch, please let us know I'm playing.
Hey, but real quick,
horrible,
Josh, you did remind me, and I'm sorry, Victor. It's been a hell of a week, but he did send a package to me as well, and there is something in there for Nick too. I just didn't want to give it to Nick. But I will give it to Nick. No, it's the mesh tubing for our Merca sanders. So Nick, I got to bring that to you, but it's the mesh sleeve to put all your the tube and the cord in, so it's not all over the place. I'm actually pretty excited to get it on my Merca sander, because I think one of the most annoying things in the world is having 2 cables just running all over the place while you're trying to pull your sander around.
I 3D printed the little the C channels that you could throw on to your actual hose, but the problem with that is, like, if it runs over, stop, Nick.
Throw them on the hose, baby.
So if you throw that on the hose and you're dragging it across the table, it gets caught up and it pops off. It's a pain in the
You just can't. You can't not say that without laughing. Like, come on.
Where the hose at?
Long story short, he saved my hose. I could drag across the table all at once and not get marked up. So thank you.
Oh my God.
We're
guys.
children. I'm sorry. For our listeners that are probably, man, these guys are freaking children. Listen, all right, like, we have fun doing this stuff. So when we can have a good laugh, we have a good laugh. But on that, we are having a good time here. But
what?
I think we can start wrapping this thing up, maybe?
No, I never wrap it up. We're good to go. All right. We got to cut a lot of this stuff out. But
Yeah, we're having like a 30-minute episode.
we'd like to thank our sponsors at this time. So, if you're in the market for a spindle kit or other accessories for your CNC machine, check out pwncnc.com. Daniel over there is always hard at work in his workshop, making new and innovative tools and designs for us to use on our on our hobbyist CNCs. So, pwncnc.com. Hit him up on Instagram at pwncnc. Daniel's very responsive. For 5% off your purchase, you can use promo code Sawdust Nation 981. That's off everything, folks. So, not just a couple of things or one-time thing. So, and with that being said, we'd like to thank Total Boat for their continued support. Total Boat, They are, the leading in epoxy and what is that little stuff you got there?
UV Cure Clear Resin.
UV Clear Resin Cure stuff. So check them out, totalboat.com. Take Josh's word for it, or don't, whatever. But if you want 10% off your Total Boat order, go ahead and shoot us a DM. We will get that for you. And like I said before, makerstock.com. We're a new brand ambassador for them. So if you want 10% off your order at makerstock.com, use promo code. What was that promo code? Sawdust10. So makerstock.com, use promo code Sawdust10. That's a one-time promo code per person. So that being said, Josh or Nap.
Yeah. It's my turn. Remember, it's the act like you haven't done this before.
I'm new.
But I'm new. I don't know what to do. But if you are listening to us on the Apple Podcasts, Spotify, any of the podcast catchers, go ahead and give us 5 stars. And if you don't give us 5 stars, let us know why. Because we need that feedback to make sure we can give you all the content that you deserve. But as well, also for our patrons that tune in to the old YouTube link here to see us live during our Patreon-only viewing of the podcast. We appreciate y'all and keep giving us feedback in the chat even while we are, we're going live. Other than that, if you need to get a hold of us, Josh, tell them how to get a hold of us.
Well, if you'd like to get a hold of us, you can reach out on Instagram by reaching all 3 of us at Sawdust Nation Podcast. You never know who's going to answer, but that's part of the fun. We try to tag our names, but sometimes forget. So bear with us and ask questions. If you want to get a hold of us individually, go ahead and shoot Nick here a message at NPG Creations. He'll answer some questions, and I'm sure start an interesting conversation of sorts. And you can reach Nap at Nap's Nutty Works LLC. Mind you, he is moving, so he's a busy man, but he's always making time for other people. And then myself, Josh from North Country Woodworking, I'll try to reach out to you and answer back as soon as I can. With that, we have an additional way. We have our email that you can actually reach out at sawdustnationpodcast@gmail.com. And you know what? You send us a voicemail for the podcast, we can include that. You can ask us questions there, and you can shoot us topic ideas as well. And then, for the Patreons and the 3rd tier, you can join us for a live episode every Tuesday around 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And you can talk to us directly, shoot us questions to topics, and comment on some of the stuff we're saying. And that's the best way to be part of this community we're trying to build, be a part of the podcast itself in each recording. So with that, let's go ahead with our final words and toss it over to Nap.
Yeah, folks. So just like we always say, keep taking care of each other. The community only gets stronger if we're helping each other out. Keep paying it forward. If someone teaches you something, be that person that can also help other folks out if they have similar issues or similar questions to when you began and when you started. Because I'll tell you what, yes, I may be busy, I may be moving and stuff, but I do still make a conscious effort to help anyone and everyone out as much as I can with the allotted time I have that's free. But other than that, keep making each other better, and I'll see you guys next episode. Nick.
And like always, take care of yourselves and each other. Until next time, remember, folks, if you're going camping, make sure...
Thank you for listening to episode 98. We have a couple more episodes to our 100th, and we can't wait to go ahead and join forces down in Texas and do that recording. Hopefully, if you're in Texas, we can meet up with you. Long story short, thank you for listening. Make sure you're turning us on when you can. If that's your ride to work, making coffee in the morning, time in the shop, or, just mowing the yard. Turn this on so we can whisper in your ear. You can see what's going on in the shop. And with that, Sawdust Nation is signing off for the 98th time.
98.
Beep, 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 beep.
So just
Because of 98.
just to let you guys know
episode.
that if you give a man a plane ticket, he'll fly for a day. But if you push him out of a plane at 3,000 feet, he'll fly for the rest of his life.